We've resumed, of course, earnest in-depth analysis and unbiased reportage of events. As it is hot here, of course, in Nigeria, honestly, things have not been easy here. And the more we look, it appears the less we see of course, what I call the policy direction of this government and the way forward for the people of this country. Everybody seems to be disillusioned, the government confused, and things, of course, is almost upside down, capsiding, and no one knows what the future holds, and that is quite sad and very disturbing issues of great concern. Where do we go from here becomes the endless rhetoric. This is the Lagos state where people, of course, the weekend is here, and people are somehow in defense of what the way forward for them as we resume the next week. And of course, God has been so faithful to preserve us. There have been outcry, outbursts, agony, and pain over the rising inflation. Honestly, it was quite sad. I went to one of the shopping malls and I saw 25 kg of rice is 36,000, which invariably a full bag or what you call 50 kg should be 72,000. This is not an assumption. This is a reality staring at us, and that is quite sad. How do humanity survive this fortunate mishaps becomes issue of urgent concern. How do we navigate from here? Where we still see some political elites living, of course, at large at the expense of the masses who are wallowing in debt, abject poverty. It is quite sad, unfortunate, and we are here, of course, to celebrate these important issues and get to know what the opinions of people are regarding this fortunate experience we have been plunged into due to misgovernance and insensitivity on the part of those who should know better. It is quite sad, honestly. Needless to say, of course, what is happening almost in the entire sector, facet of existence. We have here this morning an elderly scholar. Good morning. You're welcome, sir. Let's know what is your take regarding this. There has been outcry of rising inflation. Honestly, the masses, even the supposed average people, could no longer survive this unfortunate incidents. How do we go from here, sir? What is happening with the Nigerian state? It is quite sad and quite disturbing, honestly. Let's know, how do we go from here? Being that Nigeria is what it is today, how can humanity survive this unfortunate experience? It is quite sad, honestly. I went to a mall yesterday, shopping mall, a bag of one of the lowest price you can afford. A bag of rice, I mean a half bag, 25 kg is 36,000. I was shocked. I have to clean my eyes and look again. Is it the realities of our time? Of course, on the pages of newspaper today, it is been said that outcry over the rising inflation. I saw it yesterday. It is quite sad. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome.
You say you were surprised yesterday. Is it yesterday you just realized yourself?
No, I knew that a bag of rice is 60,000 as of the time under review, but I was shocked that it has jumped. I mean, will I say jump or skyrocketed to 72,000?
Yeah.
What is happening?
This is a country called Nigeria. Right on time like this, it shouldn't be a country. It shouldn't. It's Britain that made these things to happen this way. They brought three different nations that did not believe no national ideology. They brought them together. They forced them to be a country. That is the mistake. The first mistake. 1914. They brought our three nations together. I mean the Igbo race, Igbo nation, Yoruba nation, and the Hausa. They joined them. They forced them together. How do you know they are not one? They don't eat the same food. They don't have the same religion. They don't believe one thing. Other nations of the world, when they are playing like World Cup or whatever thing like this, when they are singing their national items, you see them shedding tears, crying. What does it mean? I can defend this nation with my blood. But it's not like that here. No national ideology. No national ideology. Hausa man does not believe what Yoruba man believe. Yoruba man does not believe what Igbo man believe. So how can it work? Just tell me how can it work? So since things fall apart, of course center cannot hold. The center cannot hold. So you are crying for inflation. This current government came in. You see, when I had a Ribadu saying yesterday that Tinubu inherited bad government, I was like, who inherited from who? Honestly, who inherited from who? Ribadu said that. I read it over the pages of newspaper.
Yes, the same gang, the same camp.
Who inherited from who? Are you still blaming PDP of 2014? When he ruled 8 good years, 2 tenure. The first tenure, he won the second tenure, and he ruled 8 good years. And you are boldly telling us.
He didn't want the second, he ripped himself. That is my opinion. That is very clear.
Whichever means.
He ripped himself inside
whichever means, he was there. He was there for 8 good years. And you are confidently telling me that Tinubu inherited bad government. Who introduced Buhari? Which government inherited from which government?
APC, the same APC, the same family.
So you are expecting, you see, it's very, very funny. Dollar was heading to 1,350 naira. And they brought out, they lodged in money, they borrow money and lodge into the economy.
Almost $9 billion.
Is it how to sustain the economy?
The dollar is rising now.
Is it how to sustain? How would it be going to 2,000 naira? You are carrying a bag of rice for 72,000. We are ready to buy it 150,000. Yes.
Are you for real?
You saw how to sustain the economy. How do you sustain the economy? You will support the local production here. Nigerian GDP is supposed to be growing. Not that everything will depend on importation. Everything, even toothpick we import. Even water we drink, we import. Handkerchief to wipe face, we import. How will your naira will be devaluing because you depend on importation. We are the consuming nation. You are saying you are producing oil. How can that one sustain us? We are supposed to encourage other things. If you go to Aba, for instance, now they have industrialists which they have crippled already. People that produce clothes, people that produce shoes, all the things, butter, everything they produce in there. But government did not allow that. They did not allow that to function. If you go to Nnewi like this, you see people like Innocent that produce vehicles. Won't stop government from endorsing those things.
And patronizing them.
Patronize them. In fact, you should even order all the government parastatals. Everything should buy from Nigerian products.
Do we at this time call for the scrapping of the whatever you call Nigeria? Because how can humanity survive this unfortunate mishap? I was shocked and I wasn't happy yesterday. How could a half bag of rice become 36,000? A bag of rice, 50 kg. Some of them are not even up to 50.
My brother, they're ready to buy it a bag of rice 150,000 or more. Because there's no plan.
This is just November, and we have not even approached the festive period, December time.
I say there's no plan to bring it down. There's no plan to sustain it, to sustain the economy. No plan at all. Because you are aside from local production here. Produce rice locally. Produce motor here. Yes, we are able to do that. You have personnel. Nigerians are not lazy. I'm aware of that. But the government did not give them the platform to do those things. So I have a Chinese friend that travel like this. He came back with a whole lot of money to invest in Nigeria. I said, how do you get this money? He said, government gave me loan.
Imagine.
Yeah, government. Yes, gave me loan to go to foreign land.
Government is looking for where to borrow money.
They gave him the loan to go to foreign land. And in fact, they even gave me some boys from China. He brought about 5 guys again. to be working here and earning here and be sending the money to China. They are sucking Nigeria. They are sucking Nigeria. So why would we produce support local products? Let Nigerians begin to produce things even years. Yes, we have people that can just do it. I'm surprised that we still buy this kind of thing from China. Clothes we buy from China, everything we buy from China. Well, I can fabricate this thing now. If there is light, if there is facilities, I can just do that
with the machines.
Yes, China is supposed to come and buy from us. So as I'm seeing it, the only solution as of now, is either military takeover or we divide the nation. Because you cannot tell me that Yoruba nation will become a nation and they allow this kind of thing to happen.
To be happening on
their economy. It cannot happen.
What is happening?
So
I'm mad. I'm very much mad, honestly.
So Igbo people cannot have their government and allow their economy
to be like this,
deteriorate to the zero. Outside likewise cannot do. They have their mineral resources as well. So every country, every nation now supposed to have their own regional independence. They should be independent. Ojukwu fought for it and he fell. And now they are talking about restructuring.
Not that he failed. Of course, he is a celebrated hero because what he fought for, what he saw more than 50 years ago, is what is happening now. Nigeria is trapped with the realities.
He fell in the
sense that he was looking for a system that would be trusted, that would be sustainable, where people can develop and grow at their own pace. But look at what is.
Of course, Ojukwu foresaw these things since 1960 something. He saw what is going to happen in future. That's why he was fighting for confederation. Exactly. The one you call a regional government. So he fought for it since 1960 something till now. He asked for that. And the Yoruba say no to that. Hausa say no to that. Now I'm even surprised that now I'm hearing Yoruba saying there will be restructuring. What is restructuring? Tell me, is it original government? That's something Ojukwu fought for. And Baba Obasanjo said that Nigerian civil war ended, that there will be no regional government or there will be no Biafra. That if anybody talking about restructuring again is inviting another civil war. That is what Obasanjo said under his tenure when he was in power. So nobody should talk about restructuring again
because of his selfishness and he wants to protect his political interests.
Can you imagine?
And look at how he has plunged the whole country and generations unborn into this unfortunate experience.
It's
quite unfortunate. It becomes necessary to go back to the civil war. If we have failed to learn from the history, and I think there should be a repeat of the history, but it might not take, of course, the usual dimension.
It's not even a war. There should be a dialogue.
We are already at war. If you
economic war, yeah.
We are already at war because when people can't feed, when the populations of the masses, over 90% of the populations of the country is multidimensionally poor, that country is bound to be destroyed. It is a battle of self-destruction.
Can you imagine?
It is madness.
Somebody is studying Nigeria to be a medical doctor with the aim of going to Canada to work.
Of course.
You become a graduate of medical in Nigeria, you go to UK and work. All our doctors, they have all traveled to Canada, UK, and other parts of the world. All the nurses, they're traveling. I have so many of them like this. Anyone I go there, I did UK, and the other one is I did Canada, I did America. What is it how to run a country?
That is how the country has become.
No, it's not worked out. Is it how to run a country?
People who didn't see the four walls of classes are now controlling the economy. Even doctors are beggars in Nigeria. So how would they live?
As at now,
that appreciate and value
I think military regime should be better as at now.
I don't think military regime should be the alternative because there are the same group of people who even the politicians have.
When I was in school, I read causes of military intervention in any state or any country. One of the reasons, one of the causes of military intervention is corruption among politicians. Are you not seeing it today?
This is quite alarming. This is
Are you not seeing it? No, tell me why military will not take over. They should allow military to take over. Yes.
the military, because look at Abacha loot. We are still recovering Abacha loot after he died more than 20 years ago.
Now,
Abacha loot, we are still recovering it.
Forget about Abacha.
Talk about Babangida and all the rest.
Abacha himself was evil. There's no doubt about that. Abacha himself was evil. And as God may have it, he died for other listeners to continue. So as it is now, under military regime, so many things will not be taking place. You cannot tell me somebody will just come up and bribe the judiciary, bribe this and bribe everywhere in order to have himself. And killed, and you can even kill in order to maintain a particular position.
How do we survive this?
I told you it's only two.
It is getting worse.
It's either you have the one you call regional government, or separate Nigeria, or military intervention. That's the only this thing now.
That can solve the problem.
Yeah.
So we are trapped in a very big mess. It's quite unfortunate. Thank you so much for a wonderful submission, sir. Honestly,
you're welcome.
We've done justice to this. And let's watch, of course, the next speaker. Please, as the fans kindly hit the subscription buttons and give us a thumbs up, give us a like, of course, and share this video so that to get to all our sundry. We have here and another gentleman here, Mr. Mike, you're welcome to this wonderful edition this morning. Let's have you here. Yes, we are here to discuss very important issues. Thank you, Stefans, for hitting the like buttons. Please continue to do so that we can get to more people here. These are realities, reporting events and the realities of our time. Is that a country or should we expect another? It is time to ask such pertinent questions. Do we expect another country or do we, of course, look for another one? Since this one is failing, let's have another thought or opinion from a very unbiased analyst. Is here. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
I was very sad and perturbed by the recent development and happenings in a country you call your own country. So
our country. It's our country, and we must continue to believe in it. It is our own Jerusalem. We must continue to seek for our good, and I think that is where I stand. There are issues confronting us as a nation. They are not unsurmountable. We must continue to hold government accountable as well, and I think that is what I believe every Nigerian should believe in. We can't afford to give up on our own country because nobody else is going to do it for us except we ourselves.
Except we ourselves, we are trying to build hope where almost hope has fast eroded, and millions of Nigerians are leaving the shores of this country. I was surprised that you are the only one saying that we should build our own Jerusalem when it is becoming very clear that the Jerusalem has become more destructive to her own people, eating up her own citizens, and it's quite unfortunate. There was a total outburst or outcry over the rising inflation. I mean, exponentially. What do you have to say concerning this? As you say, we have to hold the government accountable. How accountable is the government to be held accountable?
Part of holding government accountable is what we are doing now. Don't forget, we have that responsibility, collective responsibility. Nobody is more Nigerian than each other. The people we have elected or appointed in leadership are only privileged to be there. It's not because they are more special than every other Nigerians, and that is the more reason we must continue to hold them accountable and responsible for either their actions or their inactions. You talked about the rising inflation. This is unacceptable. Going by the fact that it is a pretty new administration. Everybody must admit that. But at the same time, just the way it was easy for the new administration to take out the subsidy, which has brought about high costs of energy, which invariably led to a lot of rise in production cost and all of that. That is the same way we must begin to hold the present administration accountable and responsible for that unacceptable level of inflation that we have had or that we are having at this time, and that is where we are as a country.
I mean, a country that does not have price control, regulatory bodies that are in charge, I mean, customer protection bodies that could address the issues of inflation. So, what becomes of such country where everybody does whatever it pleases him and gets away with that at the expense of the supposed citizens?
Yeah, I think it goes beyond price control. You can't achieve reduction in price by fiat. Much as I understand that some manufacturers exploit Nigerians their pricing, we must also look at the issue of the environment, the enabling environment. Are they really producing within an appropriate environment? What is the cost of energy? What is the cost of getting foreign exchange and all of that? It is the aggregate of those factors that is leading to some of the high cost of goods that we are seeing. And that cannot be done by just mere pronouncement, by just mere legislation or fiat and say, okay, this is the price, you should sell this. I give an instance of the Boa Cement that announced a reduction in price recently. You and I understand that up to now, we can't find that product at that particular price. It's either you don't see the product at all or you don't get it at that price. It is because it is difficult to achieve such by fiat, by pronouncements. There has to be an appropriate template on the ground in terms of all the production factors of production that is leading to the outcome of that product. If I'm getting my energy at a very high cost, there's no way my product will come down in terms of pricing. And I think these are the areas government must intervene very quickly at that to ensure that with the low cost of energy, with the forex that is not going out of place, the prices of things can begin to gradually come down.
So I foresee the possibility of children of different families waking up one of these days and start cursing Nigeria. You see, when millions are dying of poverty, the parents will no longer take care of their children. And you call it a country? As the last person said, doctors are leaving. Most of his friends who are doctors are leaving. They school here in Nigeria. They do not see Nigeria as a safe haven for them to practice their professions. That is not conducive. And they are leaving the shores of Nigeria for a more saner society that appreciates their values and of course what they have to offer. So is that the kind of country you should be proud to call your Jerusalem?
Yes, the issues are there. I mean, just as I said earlier on, it's quite unfortunate that we are losing our best hands to other nations in terms of brain drain and all of that. That can only be arrested when we make our country suitable for them to stay. The issues of insecurity, issue of the economy has to be an emergency. In fact, I expect the president to have declared a state of emergency on some of these key sectors now. Things has to be arrested as soon as yesterday. And I mean as soon as yesterday. Um, I mean, you can't stop people from living. That's the truth. Everybody have that right to go to where things your his or her interest can be properly protected and all of that. So, what is important for you as a president? For me, and this is an advice to Mr. President, instead of going about those countries and trying to woo investors here and there, which I think is not a bad idea, but efforts. I think your energy should be geared more at home. That energy is needed more at home. Put those things in place, and investors on their own will be struggling even to come and invest in your country. There is nothing you want to take. See, the world is now a global village. Jumping around may not really be the solution. They understand the issues in your country more than you do. Permit me to exaggerate there. They understand the issues. So there is nothing you want to go and tell them that they are not aware of.
They are not aware.
They are aware of. They know the state of security. They know the state of the economy. They know a lot of things about your country, and that is why our energy should be deployed more at home rather than trying to look for investors that are scared of your environment.
And that is quite sad. So how do an average Nigerian survive? Because most of the affordable basic staple food is rice, because it is easy to prepare with crayfish and onion and this thing. You can prepare it and keep the body warm, which is most of what I majorly consume because of its affordability. Now it has gotten to 72,000. How do I survive as a family man? And you too, how do you survive, sir? Do we resort to even Abado is no longer available? Because even Abado is imported.
Yeah, it's part of what
that maize is also imported in Nigeria.
That was part of what the president promised you or promised Nigerians while the campaign was on, that Abado and Ewa will be available for Nigeria, but that's on the lighter side. It is quite unfortunate that the price of staple foods like rice is already getting out of reach from an average Nigerian president. Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu must do something fast. In an emergency, you don't set up committee. In an emergency, you respond deliberately. There has to be a very deliberate and direct policy to quickly arrest such situation. If the local manufacturers are not meeting up in terms of what they are turning out in rice production, policies can be looked into to see how these products can come in from neighboring countries in terms of importation. Let them relax some of these bottlenecks that are surrounded importation, and let these products come in, especially as we approach December, where there will be high demand for that product, because it's about demand and supply. The price will keep going up as long as it is not available. As long as the demand is high and all of that. So it's a simple economics. Let this product come in. Let's remove some of this bottleneck, even if it's going to be for a very short time. While we don't want to discourage local production, we must not also take these staple foods out of the reach of Nigerians.
Honestly, thank you so much for your wonderful submission. When at this time, I refer to the one of the musicians who sang Nigeria Jaga Jaga and Mr. President. If you are president as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dan. Mr. President, President as well. Mr. Governor as well. Because what you are seeing is out of hand, and we cannot continue in this mess, and we call it a country. We have another, of course, a man who called himself a Nigerian. Yeah. Mr. Charles is here. Take control, Masha. We are just seeing a case of the crying of whoa, 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 tiger, tiger. But you are finally seeing
We just throw the answer that go there.
dragon is that. Still has to swallow, even without chewing. What is happening in this country? It's your country, right?
Yes, it's our country. It's our country. It's our country. We can't deny Nigerian.
But is Nigeria denying you of existence?
Nigeria is denying. Why not? See,
good governance and basic amenities.
that's exactly what these politicians are doing. Look at even Buhari regime. We experience like swallowing money even in bank and a different wire board and different places. But this time around it's like SUVR is the one swallowing our money. They are just busy eating up our money. My brother, we cannot deny our country. Nigeria is our country, but because of bad influence of the bad politicians we are having, we cannot say that Nigeria is not our country. We should be very, very proud of this country. But the point still remains, the politicians who are called business politicians are the one making the country look as if we are not very, very much interested in the country.
Respecting fans, I can't hit the like button. Thank you so much. And while we continue with this program, hit the like buttons and God bless you.
Yes, last time, we raised a point here and we said a lot of people commented and were like saying one or two things that we should know that our mates are there in different parts of the world. Well, we know. But even before that, there must be what I may call an adequate and a proper environment for you to be able to look at yourself and say, yes, you can move from one place to another. But most of these politicians have decided to make things very, very difficult to and average Nigerians. So we are not very, very much happy here. We are not interested on whatever they are doing and whatever. If you like buy cars for yourself, we don't care. But what we are after is that make a country governable for most of people like us, so that at the end of it, everybody will smile and be happy. We have seen because the price of everything is on a high increase, and it's not supposed to be like that. Are we supposed to be suffering on our country?
That is what is saying.
That is, he has raised this country.
I went in one of the malls to just comment from certain inquiries. I saw a half bag of rice, that is 25 kg.
25 kg, 36,000. Yes.
And this morning on national papers, they say Outcry over rising inflation. Where do we go?
Agure Bukola, see my brother.
Want to starve Nigerians to death?
Agure Bukola in over there.
Another weapon to
Nigerians are dying.
What is the
Nigerians are dying. We are done. She's honestly speaking. These people should.
bag of rice 72,000?
I don't understand what is going on, my brother. We are even. How much is an average civil servant earning in Nigeria here per month? How much?
No, I don't know about in the
that is why sometimes when you begin to talk about Nigerians, most of these are diaspora. People that are in abroad, they will tell you that please don't talk about anything Nigeria, because Nigerians have succeeded in destroying the futures of a lot of Nigerians. You cannot tell me to travel. You can only travel when you have an enabling environment to leave this country. You can only travel when you know that a lot of things. How many land can you sell? How many things can you be able to involve yourself just for you to look for the money and leave the country? Are you getting me? How many times will you be able to work in this country for you to see money and travel? How many times have you been able to save? When people are saying that our mates are out there enjoying themselves in different parts of the world, yes, even if they are out there, somebody make a position them to be there.
Somebody position them to be there.
What can we say?
for themselves because they know that there is no future.
There's no future.
Let me tell you something.
But yes, look, my brother.
The problem is Nigeria people. We are the problem. I don't know why 200 million Nigerians, just few people will take us a ration. Two people make math, all the math he make at the end. Wow. You know Lule. He has come down.
He come down.
He just come back and get up.
He was in on Hala.
I do Lagos, I do everywhere. Today now, where is it? 0.0.
We don't have bag of rice
36,000.
He's traveling all over the world.
He's in Guinea-Bissau.
Deceiving us. For now, he's going to Germany.
He's going to Germany. Again, all the Germany people, more than know what do with Adele.
See, don't kill us. Is that Nigeria too docile? Nigeria mumus. When they hear mumus, we go talk, no action. I be like, no. You are right, no action. They doing Gary. They tell you even court said nobody believe judiciary again. Senate has failed us.
Even the Gary is no longer.
We Gary is a bit lawful now. So
among Gary without
Nigeria to lule. Tinubu said Buhari lule 2 times. You now. Lulisco. So Nigeria, I blame this country. You know, we can't talk again. Our boys have ceased. Manage. Do this before when you hear November, you be hearing marrow or stew. What we are hearing now, in Nigeria now, poverty. Smelly poverty.
It's not a matter of joke.
Yes, smelly poverty. Before when it comes for November, you be hearing people face are smiling. People be looking good and sweet. You see everybody face are tight like mad. Look at the face of people. People are not happy. People, their face are bit tight like mad people. You know, mad people, they don't smile. Any man see the smile, don't become mad. They become mad. They too loose. Tinubu has succeed divide Nigeria. Igbo, you are your own. Outside you are your own. Imagine Kano now. Apricot notify ANPP. Answer for a chief. All of them now. They sleep. But let me tell you, that's why I say they not be Lagos. You can't do that. When you vote, after voting, you come all the way for North. Work on the fire election. They vote you well. It is mad. Nigeria to lule.
So how do you survive as a family man in Nigeria?
How do you survive? Now woman be chopper in Taiwan. They chop woman.
Honestly, it's coming to
you see, that is the era. It's coming to that era
of cannibalism.
Woman be chopper.
It's ending.
Woman be plenty.
Cannibalism, eating of human beings.
That is it. It's happening in other countries now. All the meat you are eating, how many malu they come here again? How you sure you know woman be they eat? Nigeria can you carry Pharaoh put for government say make it work? Another Pharaoh which is I get there. Pharaoh leave, another Pharaoh come again. My brother, permit us to greet our people. Jare Professor J. Okwade. Good morning, sir. My brother.
Good morning, Mr. J.
Okwade. Professor. J. Okwade. See, make I tell you something. This is Joy. Professor. You see, God is wonderful. You see, to get professor in that area is not easy. It's so easy, my brother. You can mess, you get professor here in Nigeria. You can use money buy it in Nigeria here. You see, somebody call himself professor. People call it but your professor is international. Yeah, God will continue to bless you. Before the end of this, we prophesize. What profession? Double promotion for you, sir. Amen. Mrs. Joy. Some of these God will bless you, and your husband will be healed very soon in Jesus' name. Every guy in Nigeria here get professor. But professor here, you see, they can't manufacture matches. No, manufacture them from here anyway once here. Ordinary matches, professor cannot manufacture.
Is there enabling environment for them to strive? You see, how many of the government grants you could assess for research? That is another thing.
I didn't see the election.
They can use the money and put it in
the INEC chairman. Some of these INEC police officers don't you know they are professors. They are professors from different universities. This is a problem.
They are professors
from different universities. Professor will be hand will be shaking. Say you are professor. Can the professor hand shake? That is a professor. This is a professorship that was bought. They bought it from the government. He want to bought it from government because he has collected money. He's afraid somebody will not knock his head at the back. Who called the monster? So Nigeria, Andrew, Nigeria, good morning. Nigeria to Lulu. And the Dennis. Good morning. Dennis, good morning.
Thank you so much, SM fans. We use this opportunity. Yes, for those who commented, we acknowledge your comments. And we hope, of course, you are doing great wherever you might be at this time. This is the Nigerian situation, honestly. We appear to be helpless amidst all these controversies, which are working the entire sphere of existence as a people. Some have made submissions that the only way is to call for, of course, military takeover or the dissolution of this country. Let's know what is your position regarding the state of affairs, because Some are saying that there is no nepotism in broken bottle, as partly submitted by the late Zinc,
Zinc,
that broken bottle has no nepotism.
no nepotism.
To the Nigerian state
That
at this time.
that is
People are
exactly.
hungry and haggard. How do we survive this moment becomes a history? Thank you, Mr. Loki, for your wonderful submissions. And honestly, it has not been easy even for the Zikers.
Even the patients are losing patients in Nigeria. It is quite sad. Those who answer happiness are even losing their happiness. Those who answer, of course, joy within Nigeria is changing that for pain. It is quite sad as far as you are found within this compassion. Almost everything seems to be against the masses, except for the few political gladiators who are ripping up this country at the expense of humanity. Imagine even the environment is not even attractive or even encouraging or inspiring. Honestly, it's quite sad, and this is quite disturbing. Honestly, how long shall we continue in this kind of stories, endless stories about a country that everybody should have been proud to be or to identify with? We are blessed with enormous resources, human, of course, natural, and other, even climate wise. Nigeria is well blessed with the best climate ever in the world. But yet, all these things appears to be against an ordinary masses. The governments who, or those political elites who should have known what to do, unfortunately, refuse to do that because of their selfish interests, and perhaps they are there to protect only their interests and not even, of course, the national interests or the well-being of the average Nigerians. How do we survive these circumstances? But what is true is that things are building up, rejection and sentiments are building up on daily basis. People are not happy. You hardly could see anyone happy by his or facial expression. How can you be happy when you are not sure of the next meal, where it will come from? When you're combated with so many challenges and bills and pets piling up, and there appears to be no way forward. Unless, of course, for the few exposed political persons who are living at large at the expense of the masses. It's quite sad and quite unfortunate. Well, let's continue to watch until things continue to unfold. It is quite unfortunate. My good morning. This, I would just want to know, how has your business been moving? Are people patronizing you?
My brother, everywhere is so scant and no market. There's no market. Everywhere is dry. Between what and man. The one that we are selling 9,000 before, now it's 10,000 naira. Where are you saying the money? Everywhere is dry. There's no money everywhere. The country is hard for people.
Okay, that's why they are not patronizing you.
Everybody, no, everybody, everyone. Market is costly. There is no money in country. There is no work. There is no. Everything is hardship every day by day. Hardship every day by day. How can we move forward? I would say markets are more expensive. Dollar is more range of expensive. Where? And just see, let me tell you, if I have the opportunity to travel, I will travel out. To where that's country. Yeah. Thanks.
Wow, that is quite sad, honestly, but that is the realities here. Nigeria is quite very difficult this moment. Let's good morning. Honestly, to this end, of course, we wrap it up today. As in fans, wishing you all the best of the weekend. Is Chigozendibo. My greetings to all as Sunday. Hoping that you will, of course, be safe and enjoy your day. But don't forget, of course, that we have your brothers here who, of course, should be giving some, of course, handshakes if that becomes necessary at the stage now. That will be much appreciated if that is done. We are approaching, of course, the Unitide season. You could extend such a gestures handshake to us here, and that will be appreciated, especially for the esteemed viewers. Thank you so much. On this note, I call it a day. Do have a fantastic day until God spares our life next week, Monday. Remain blessed.